All praise is due to Allah, who has united the hearts of the believer in Islam and has made it an obligation to remain united and has made it forbidden to become separated in his clear book. I bear witness that there is nothing worthy of worship except Allah, who guides to the straight path whom he wills. And I bear witness that our leader Muhammad is his messenger and the best caller to the way that is straight. O Allah, send your prayers and your peace upon our leader Muhammad and upon his family and upon his companions, whose hearts were united and whose souls were educated, so that they became victorious leaders. And what follows thereafter, O believers of Allah, I advise you as well as I advise myself to first have the proper regard for Allah and thereafter be obedient to him. Dear believers, I greet you with the universal greetings of peace. Assalamu alaikum, which means peace be with you. This week we're looking at the attribute of Al-Majīd, which means the magnificent, or some translated as the illustrious. And we know that as we've been looking at these attributes of Allah, that some of the attributes discusses the things that he does for us or to us, and some of the attributes describe who he is, and others are attributes that give an idea or a starting point or concept to understand or to begin to think about who the creator is. So Al-Majīd is one of those attributes that begins the idea, because this definition or this translation of magnificent, the term is a term that we would use for our understanding, which is based on our personal understanding of something else within creation. And we know that Allah is not limited by creation, and we can only describe him based on our concept of our understanding. But Allah is Al-Majīd, the magnificent. And if we were to think about why Allah would be the magnificent, and magnificent meaning something great, being something that is beautiful, we think about what Allah is and what Allah does. And we can see that through the other attributes. We can see that through Ar-Rahim, Ar-Rahman, the mercy that we receive in this life. We can see that as being something beautiful, something that aids us, something that is of benefit. And the one who bestows that upon us, the one who makes that a possibility for our lives, would be something great. And it would be a beautiful, generous gesture. And so that would make Allah Al-Majīd. And Ar-Rahim, the mercy that we receive in the next life. The things that we can't fully grasp, the things that we can't understand because we don't have a concept. We can see some of the readings and hear some of the teachings and have an idea, but we truly can't understand what that mercy in the next life looks like. So it's that anticipatory mercy. It's the mercy that is prepared for us. The mercy that was created for us before we were created. This is what makes Allah Al-Majīd, the magnificent, because it is a magnificent thing. It has to be a magnificent, and I'm going to use the term being, but that's only for our understanding. But it takes something magnificent, a magnificent being to develop something, a mercy for his creation that the creation cannot yet access until they achieve a different state, until they earn it. So it was pre-planned to know that what it was that we would need, what it would be, that would be a mercy for us in the next life. Al-Majīd, the magnificent. this generous creator put that in place for us once we have achieved paradise, once we have lived our life properly. So this is how we get an understanding of some of these attributes, some that may seem elusive in meaning, some that we may have trouble easily pinpointing their context. But we look at it in the scope of it being something to describe or to begin to describe or get an understanding of who our creator is and what he does. And we look at Gafar, the forgiveness that we receive in this life, the forgiveness that only our creator can give. And we know that some may forgive us, but they don't forgive us the same way that our creator forgives us. Our creator forgives us and does not hold us to account to those things that we were forgiven for. Our creator forgives us of the deeds that we've done in this life, and it's a benefit for us, and it helps us to achieve Ar-Rahim, the mercy in the next life. This is a magnificent creator. This is a magnificent thing that is done. How these attributes, how these actions of Allah can be described through these attributes and understood, and an understanding can be gained by another attribute by looking at ones that we have previously looked at. So Allah is Al-Majīd. And just as we have Ghafar, there is Ghafur. This forgiveness that we may receive for our deeds, because our creator says to us over and over again that he is the most forgiving, the most merciful, and his word is true. And because he is, this is a wonderful, magnificent thing. So Allah is Al-Majīd. He is the magnificent. He is the one that makes that possible. He is the one that created that concept. He is the one that created that concept for us, knowing that we would not completely live up to those high ideals or those high aspirations. But because he is Al-Majīd, he has deemed himself to be the most forgiving, or oft forgiving. That his forgiveness has no bounds. It doesn't cap out. Allah is Al-Majīd. أقول كذا استغفر لي ولكم والحمد لله رب العالمين. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. Now we know that Al-Majīd, the magnificent, is very similar to an attribute that we looked at previously, Al-Majīd, which means the glorious. And these two are similar. They're similar in their structure and their root word, but they're also similar in their meaning and in the context of their meaning, that they describe Allah, not an action of Allah, not something that Allah has done, not something that Allah will do, but who Allah is. They attempt to capture his essence, or a beginning understanding of his essence. And Al-Majīd is one of a few of the attributes that aren't directly found in the Quran. This one and several others are not found in the Quran, but Al-Majīd is, and it's the glorious. So as we think about As we think about these 99 attributes of Allah, as we work our way through them, we're on 65 now, so we have less than 30 left, or less than 35 left. That we begin to contemplate, and we really begin to engage in them. We really begin to look and understand what are these attributes? Are they things that describe actions of Allah that Allah does just in general? Are they things that Allah does that are beneficial to us? Are they things that Allah does that holds us to account? Are they things that Allah that describe or begin to describe who Allah is? Put Allah into a context, not into context, but into a context, a beginning context for us to desire to study more, for us to desire to understand who our Creator is, to see, well, why would the term Al-Majīd be used? Why would that be an attribute? Why would we call Allah the magnificent? What makes Allah the magnificent? And that's when we begin to engage in the other attributes. That's when we begin to see what else is being said of our Creator, being said about our Creator in a descriptive fashion. And that in itself, the seeming lack of clarity or lack of readily available understanding for this attribute creates inside of us, inside of most, the desire to learn, the desire to engage with the Creator, the desire to engage one's brain and think and reason and wonder, what is it that makes Allah Al-Majīd? And as we've journeyed down that path, as we take that trip to see what it is that makes Allah Al-Majīd, by looking at these other attributes, we begin to see the wondrous things that He's done. We begin to understand that those things that we couldn't quite pinpoint in our own vernacular, in our own words, are attributes of Allah, and they describe Him perfectly. And once we step back and we realize this description, this image, this understanding or beginning of understanding of our Creator, we then see ourselves as we are, as creation. We see Allah as our Creator. We understand the hierarchy of sovereignty. We understand that we are here to worship our Creator because of all those things that are listed in those attributes. And that is one of the greatest aspects, or one of the most important parts of being a believer, being a Muslim, is to pray and worship your Creator. But we have to learn, who is our Creator? What does our Creator do? What does He say of Himself? What is said of our Creator that He does, that He is? And when we step back again and we return to this place to say, wow, that's who our Creator is. Our Creator is Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, Al-Ghafar, Al-Ghafur. He is the most merciful, the most forgiving. And we have to subscribe to the fact that that is a magnificent thing. That is a beautiful thing. That is an illustrious thing, that our Creator is most merciful, most forgiving. He is Al-Majīd. Allah is Al-Majīd, the magnificent. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم. إن صلاتي ونسكي ومحياي ومماتي لله رب العالمين لا شريك له بذلك أمرت وأنا أول المسلمين الحمد لله رب العالمين آمين.